everyone, this is GamerCat09 and welcome to the corrupted case files of Ghostwire Tokyo. This is a free Prelude that's available on PlayStation for basically anybody to play, but I am exceptionally excited for this game to come out, and why not get hyped for it than by playing a free Prelude to kind of get a little bit more insight to the game. So if you guys are not aware of this game is coming out from the publisher developer of The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2. It's a combination of Tango Gameworks and Bethesda. So I mean, The Evil Within was amazing and interesting, and you know how it is. You know if you know. So this is their latest installment into their, I guess, their horror. I don't know. Would you call it horror? I would call it horror. But anyway, we are going to... Oh, okay. So it does not use directional buttons. So let's check our options to make sure everything is good. I think everything is good so far. So select and back. Okay, so this is a visual novel Prelude. So we don't actually, I don't think we get to really play much, but it does kind of give some depth to the story of what we're going to be getting into when the game comes out. And if you guys are interested, yes, I will be playing Ghostwire Tokyo. I keep wanting to call it Tokyo Ghostwire, but you know what I mean. Anyway, let us get started. New game. That's a great way to start. Oh, he actually has, like, his eyes blink. He has, like, features. Rinko? God damn it, Rinko. Erica? Oh, no. No one wants to talk about it, but it's all that's on anyone's mind these days. Mysterious things are happening all around Shibuya. Sightings, attacks, disappearances, fear. How is a kid supposed to be a kid in a time like this? But honestly, Ryota never really was like most kids. He's not usually glued to his phone all day. Except right now, apparently. The Kiragoga vanishing, the Marinauchi vanishing, and the bathroom vanishing. Ryota's concerns bring him to a mysterious case file posted online. It's titled The Kirigoka Vanishing. He reads it to himself the best he can. Having tracked another report of dark fog to the area, I arrived to find it had passed, leaving dreary rain hanging over the neighborhood. At the scene, all we found were the clothes of a mother and a son left behind like two molted cicada shells. It's hard to even imagine a parent and her child just gone, precious lives snuffed out forever. My heart sank knowing that I had failed to protect them. It was the worst feeling I'd ever felt. As if on cue, the rain started pouring down. Heavier and heavier it fell with each passing minute, but I couldn't be bothered to take out my umbrella. That's when the obvious culprits returned to the scene of the crime. A group of monsters. They had umbrellas of their own, as if rain followed them wherever they go. I was furious. I brought hell down onto them at that very moment. They tried to protect themselves with the umbrellas, but I just kept pounding on them until they were battered and broken. I was so exhausted I could have fallen over at any moment, but my utter wrath kept me going. As I picked up to leave, I still refused to open up my own umbrella. I just walked away, rain pouring and soaking me to the bone. KK. Okay. So so we're reading each one. Okay. So this one. Unable to shake the idea that monsters are all around him, Ryota navigates on his phone to a document called the Marunouchi Vanishing. Marunouchi? Marunouchi? I'm going to say Mar. I'm going to botch some of these words because I don't have anyone to help me pronounce them, so I apologize. The Marunouchi Vanishing. The language is complicated, but he works to understand it. It says, I got a tip on a missing woman from Marunouchi. When you've been a detective as long as I have, you tend to build up a big network of contacts. The story my contact told me was that they saw the woman one day when the fog rolled in. It blanketed the area, and then poof, she was gone. Times like these make me wish a certain somebody was around. Come to think of it, the fog and these disappearances set the scene for when I first met the rest of my crew. And Cooper is pawing me, so I apologize if you see me going like this. Everybody kept talking about folks just up and disappearing. I thought it was a load of horseshit. Wasn't till I met them, and until my encounter, that I believed. Ever since then, I had been haunted by what I would have, by what I would have once called hallucinations. Turns out being able to see spirits and monsters isn't fantasy movie nonsense after all. Guess I should be thankful, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen through that monster taking the form of the woman. She made a bunch of red orbs appear that chased me around, but I knew so long as I didn't let myself get surrounded, I'd be okay. She was a nightmare to look at, so I put her out of her misery. Yes, Cooper, I know. I'm reading, buddy. When I searched the scene, I spotted a woman's handbag. I found the missing lady's ID cards in there. Then I came across some clothes that looked like they would have been hers. They were in a little pile, but the way they had fallen made it clear her body had just vanished. No mistaking those handiwork it was either. Whose handiwork it was either. I'd finally managed to get my hands on a solid enough lead to work with. KK. So all of these are from KK. Could monsters really live among us? These case files say that yes, they absolutely can and do, according to this one. A lady called me about a missing person who vanished from the bathroom of her apartment. Usually I'd brush it off as another runaway, but after seeing the crows circling above her apartment, I had a feeling there'd be more to this. The black stains on the front door verified my hunch. It turns out that I'm the only one that can see these black stains. The lady who lived there and showed me in made no signs of noticing it. She showed me the bathtub and gave me a play-by-play of what happened. Her boyfriend was taking a bath, longer than usual, and so she went to the bathroom to check in on him. When she opened the door, her boyfriend was gone, and for a short instant there was a reflection of an old shrine on the surface of the bath water. I rubbed my finger on the rim of the bathtub, and there was a transparent, sticky, slime-like substance on it, a reflection of a shrine shown on the water's surface. I'll need to talk further with my team about this incident, to see if these things ring any bells. I purged the black stain on the front door and then left the scene. Poor lady. What will she do now? What can any of us do? KK. And then this looks like the last one. In these posts, the kid had found something, or rather someone. Someone called KK has been looking into monsters in this part of town. A believer, just like Ryota. Social media would never lie, and that means KK is an expert. Maybe the expert in all things paranormal. There's only one thing left to do. Having pored over every story, post, and grainy photo about local monsters he could find, Ryota prepares to take action. I'm going to ask this KK guy to help. Just got to figure out where he lives first. Sagasu instead of Google. Oh, okay. Am I just hitting? Oh, yep, I'm just hitting X and then, yep. Cooper, what are you doing back there? Are you being a goober? I can see you. I can feel you getting into trouble, my dude. He's like, Mommy's not paying attention. I'm a get in trouble. Dear Mr. Investigator Person. Mr. Investigator Person. That's an appropriate way of addressing somebody. Rinko. Cooper. For the love of God, stop. Dear Mr. Investigator Person, hello, how are you? I am not good and need your help. Monsters got my best friend, Sosuke. Rinko sits up in her chair. She zeroed in on one of a dozen monitors from across a makeshift command center stuffed into this cramped Tokyo apartment. Cooper. No. I don't even think you could see him because he's off camera this way. But he's trying to get under a bookshelf and he's pulling everything out. It happened near the manhole. Please help me get him back. Data files across the screens, seemingly too much. Charts and graphs, maps and mathematical equations, even social media feeds and open case files. Somehow, through all those screens and all of that clutter, Ryota's message catches Rinko's eye. Sounds desperate, but it could just be some bored kid trolling us. Calm and confident, Rinko insists on balancing compassion with skepticism in her analytical approach. On the other hand, that manhole is within the vicinity of several recent incidents. Maybe he is involved. She knows what she thinks, but she also knows no one can protect Tokyo all by themselves. Trusting your teammates is the only way to keep everyone safe. What do you make of it, Ed? Ed squints and takes a single deep breath as he turns to the screen. He has something to say but holds it back. Technology is easy, people are hard. Instead of speaking up, he places a small recorder on his desk. He presses play, and as the audio begins to roll, Ed turns and walks away. I've heard intriguing stories about so-called manhole girls in Japan. Vengeful ghosts of bullied students said to trick other children into following them into the sewer. That's a terrible idea. From where they never return. Never go into the sewer. Never. Ever. If any information turns up about such anomalies, I'd be keen to investigate, though I speak purely out of personal interest. It might not be enough to make the rest of my team pursue it without further evidence. Okay, safe to say, since you somehow found the time to record something this specific about a single urban legend, that you want to look into it. Ed is already engrossed in other work. He doesn't respond. He certainly doesn't notice when Rinko rolls her eyes. He rarely does. Probably best we have no idea how you spend your free time, huh, Ed? Erica's been sitting next to Rinko this entire time, listening and waiting for the right time to chime in. That time is... Want me to check it out? I don't think so, Erica. Could be dangerous. What if something happens to you? Seriously, you still don't trust me to go out by myself for 5 minutes in the middle of the day? At just 16 years old, Rinko might be right to not trust Erica in something dangerous. Yeah, I'd say so. But Rinko knows that Erica has shown a maturity beyond her years. She gives Erica an almost sisterly look of skepticism. You know it's not that. Rinko quickly turns back to her monitors and away from Erica. But for all her maturity, Erica can't keep quiet from pouting. Stop making that face. Besides, we've got our very own private detective in the vicinity already. I'll have him take a look. I wonder if the private detective is KK. The stall is brimming as a wide array of customers eat in relative silence. The only sound they make is the slurping of their noodles. That silence breaks when a phone begins to vibrate upon the countertop. The owner ignores it, choosing to focus on his meal instead. The phone doesn't care about his hunger and continues to vibrate. The phone wins. The peace and solitude have shattered. This is no way to enjoy noodles. God damn it. The silent diner finally glances at the screen. He begins to mutter to himself. Another case? These people have me working harder than my enemies ever did. Can't even get 5 minutes to enjoy a nice quiet lunch? Let me guess. I'll be risking life and limb. That's why you let it ring for so long? Too scared to pick up? Ha, you know the exact day I stopped being scared of anything. The day you stopped being a loner and hooked up with us so we could have your back? Sure, that works. Besides, I'm not full enough to pretend this team isn't half okay. If you need backup, you know I'll be there. No questions asked. I actually already volunteered, but... But right now, there's nothing dangerous to be worried about. It's a simple check-in on a report of some suspicious activity that might be connected to these phenomena that we've been looking into. It's always the simple cases that go south the fastest. You know what? You're right. Maybe Erica should run point on this one. Sure, she's just a kid, but you're so busy, so... Whoa, hold up. Let's not sacrifice the rookie to make me look bad. I'm already out. Send me the info and I'll get on it. First, though, I need to talk to one of you about something. Let me talk to Rinko, because she seems to know what the hell is going on, and Ed is kind of like in his own world, and Erica is 16, so let's talk to Rinko. Hey, Rinko. Let me guess, pissed I interrupted your precious solitary soba time, guy? Irked, not pissed. I was almost done. God forbid the report of a vengeful spirit abducting children interrupt the same bowl of noodles you've had 1,000 times. Not much left in the world I love. When I think of something else, I'll tell you. You won't have a chance to add that to the list if we don't figure this out. We both know how powerful the forces we're dealing with really are. We have to keep pulling these threads until we've unraveled the whole damn thing. No thread is too small. Guess I can't argue with that. I know I can rely on you. It might be the only thing I know for certain. Now go prove how smart I am, dumbass. It's the job I was born to do. Okay. Yes, Cooper, I know. You're going to get in trouble and all this stuff. Yes, I know. Ryota doesn't notice the people passing him on the street. They don't notice him either. He is young, but he is very much alone. His focus is centered on the small bit of paper in his hands. After a couple folds, the paper finds a familiar configuration. With head, arms, and body, it takes shape. A palm-sized person stands in his hand. As Ryota inspects his creation, someone who has been observing him from afar steps out of the shadows. What have you got there? Ryota looks up. He's nervous, but clutches the paper doll in his hand to stay brave. He's not running or hiding, despite the gruff stranger staring at him. No need to be afraid. I'm not here to do anything bad to you or your little friend. Gotta admit, I've been known to carry the odd paper doll with me on investigations. Strange habit, I know. But you get the benefits of a partner without the annoying small talk. Ryota's shoulders ease. He lets his guard down as he listens to the detective and re-examines the folded paper. The detective surprises himself with his playful tone. He's rusty, but he somehow still feels comfortable talking to this scared kid. Sometimes paper dolls are used for magical purposes. You a sorcerer by chance? Now's the time to tell me. So you really are him, huh? Gonna have to be more specific, kid. You're KK, the ghost hunter from the files. You must be. I just thought you'd be taller. They say you solve strange mysteries, right? KK? Maybe. The detective looks closely at Ryota's phone. He sees the social media post featuring photos of various case files he has worked on, collected in one place. Look, I only used those initials because writing out my name is a pain, and I got too much pain already. Not your problem, right? Anyhow, that's me, KK, but I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a detective. Oh, so that is KK. Okay. KK's demeanor hardens a bit, dropping the playfulness. You want an investigator, kid? Well, you got one. I'm so glad you're going to look into the disappearances at the manholes. Here's the thing. I already did. Made some calls on the way here. There's no record of any recent disappearances. Still got a few friends on the force, so I can dig up dirt quick. KK shoots Ryota a serious look. Not trying to pull a fast one on me, are you, kid? It's true, honest. My buddy Sosuke disappeared. He hasn't come home since yesterday. Last place I saw him was right back there. Ryota motions to the alleyway behind him. He went down that way. I tried to follow, but I couldn't follow him. He was completely gone. If Ryota is bluffing, he's an incredible liar. A sadness comes over him when he looks back towards the alley. KK looks back and forth from the kid, then to the alleyway behind him. All alleys are dark, but this one looks like it's never seen daylight. See any fog when that happened? The moment he disappeared? Now that you mention it, there has been something spooky around, like a kind of fog or darkness, but it came and then went. All right. KK mutters something to himself as he eyeballs the alleyway behind Ryota. Nothing looks immediately out of place. With so much going down in the city, some kid getting lost doesn't exactly seem like front page news. Oh. Call the kid's bluff or press for more info. Let's press for more info. Yeah, press for more info. I need more to go on, kid. Why are you so convinced he was taken? Didn't happen to anyone else around here? But it did happen to my best friend. Sosuke's been missing for 2 full days. Everyone has been looking, but no one can find him. What about his parents? Have they filed a police report? I'm the only one who really cares about Sosuke. I know he needs me. And no one else is even looking for him anymore. Just me. He's lucky to have you. It's like when you saw crows circling above the building in one of your cases you investigated. You knew there was something more to it than everyone else. Well, Mr. KK, I know there's more to Sosuke's disappearance. I just need your help. Really did your homework, huh? I'm impressed. You're more dedicated than most adults I know. You remind me of my friend Erica. She lost someone too, and she'll never stop fighting for them either. KK takes another glance at the alley. Alright, show me exactly where this Sosuke pal of yours disappeared. Ryota perks up. So you're gonna look into it? I'm here, ain't I? Let me check in with my team, see if they figured anything out. Could save us some time. KK reaches for his phone. What's up? We're all here. I just need a quick word with one of you to follow up what the kid has told me. Okay, so let's speak to... Well, he says it reminds me of Erica. Let's speak to Erica. Erica, you're a natural when it comes to intuition. What does your gut tell you? I can feel something out there for sure, something that threatens good people, something that he would embrace. The details aren't clear. I can only see the shadows of a vision, but that's not important. I know it's him. I know we need to act right now. Nothing else matters. We can't let another child disappear, another family get torn apart. You need to help him. There's still time. You know, kid, you're stronger than you have any right to be, and you got the scars to prove it. If we don't look out for people like Ryota and Sosuke, who will? This is our mission. Ryota, it's time to find Sosuke. Nothing looks out of place, but things are rarely what they seem. KK slowly but deliberately reaches his hands out. He's not holding on to anything, but you would think that he is by the way he's moving. Like he's got something invisible dangling from his fingertips. Ryota has no clue what he's trying to do, but he watches closely. However, what happens next can only be seen by KK's eyes. As KK opens his fingers, a sparkling orb of energy drops from his hand down to the ground. It ripples like water in a still pond, energy flowing outward into the world. Ooh, pretty. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Is that where he went? A strange trail floats into view as though a spirit has passed through this place. Psychic energy. The trail leads further on, deeper into the alley and out of view. Guess he went that way. Puzzled, Ryota follows KK's eyeline down the alley, but sees nothing out of the ordinary. What happened? I don't see anything. Trust me, kid, it's good you can't see it. This is a power you don't want. And you're too young for it, to take a risk like that and change your life forever. The world's a scary place. It keeps getting worse. We're going to find your friend and get you back to your life. KK and Rinko are in big trouble, this time running like rats desperate to stay alive, with only a dingy old sofa between them and... Wait, did we just flash forward to a different time? Monsters! We better find another exit. Rinko turns to KK and sees him holding his head. He appears to be in great pain. Damn, it's happening again. Your body's reacting to the ether. Oh boy. As KK looks at the room, his vision begins to break in half. He tries to focus, but rather than reform, everything continues to split apart even further. That's freaky. Ooh. Another hallucination. The world is breaking in two. I see three, actually. That'd be crystallized ether, another form of matter. Sounds like your body has entered the final stages of affinity. Ugh. From thin air like phantoms, these horrific visitors appear, surrounding KK and Rinko. Damn, we're surrounded. Oh, Mr. KK? Are you okay? Huh? Sorry, kid. My mind can be a little hard to control. Oh, he's having, like, episodes, I guess. You just kind of stood there for a little while. Sometimes my memories take me places. Hate to leave you alone again, but you need to wait here while I look for your pal. Sit tight, I won't be long. A report on Rinko's computer setup flashes on screen. Ed's monitoring software has a hold of something big. The results are clear. Spiritual residue, and it's exactly at KK's location. What is it now? We just received an alert. There was a massive surge of spiritual energy at your location. Hold off on pursuing until we're able to send support. Can't wait forever for you guys. We might have a missing child on our hands. We got plenty of evidence. I know what I'm getting myself into. Remember, saving more lives is the only thing that matters. Erica feels it. I feel it. Hell, you don't need an affinity to know that life is circling the drain out there. Fighting back's all we got. I want to be there and help you myself, but I understand why you can't wait any longer. But just know you're my inspiration to keep going, like you did. I mean, do. Erica, inspiration can get you killed if you're not careful. Passion is nothing without strategy. It's not fair to ask us for help when you think you need us, then use our own words against us when you're too impatient to act as a team. We're in this together. KK decides to address one team member specifically to make his case. Well, I haven't spoke to Ed yet, so... The hunger I have to solve this case is as good as any science experiment you could conduct to get to the bottom of it. Ed, how many times have my instincts been proven right by all your high-tech gadgetry? That's not something I keep tally of. The purpose of my work isn't to prove you right. But it happens all the time. I'm out in the streets, pressing in the darkness, trusting my instincts. I can't be waiting for you all to download a software update. I feel like you're trivializing my work quite a bit. Of course, I'm extremely thankful when I can assist you, but my primary goal as a scientist and a paranormal investigator is much greater than any individual day-to-day goals. And that's exactly my point. We all need to focus on what we do best, and what I do best is not wait around. We can all agree that you're no good at that. I must say, I quite admire your gift, and I do not envy the stress that a city like Tokyo must place on a detective who just wants to do his job. However, I would remind you, in nature, a lone wolf typically isn't alone for long. They are alone only until they find a new pack, or become prey themselves. That may be factually correct, but sure as hell takes the coolness out of it. I can't disagree with that. Just try and act cool in the most responsible way possible. Our pack is stronger with you in it. I'll talk to you later. I'm in the middle of investigating. He never was any good at following people's directions. That attitude of his is precisely what saved our hides on countless occasions. You don't think I realize that? Erica smiles, thinking about KK's attitude. It doesn't bother her. Okay. I feel like no matter what, he was going to press on, but... Ooh! Damn, they're everywhere! KK's eyes dart between the two horrific figures and to some incredibly strange glowing crystals that hover nearby. As he tries to speak, KK wheezes painfully. Rinko, what would happen if someone tried to touch one of those ether crystals? Your guess is as good as mine. Might give you the power to fight back. Might just make you even more miserable. Who could say? What about him? Did it grant him strength? Rinko nods silently. After getting his answer, KK, without hesitation, stretches his hand out toward the crystals. Wait, stop. Stopping's not an option, not for any of us. You don't know what would happen. It could kill you. And those things won't? We're dead if we don't try something. We aren't out of options yet. You've thrown away everything to fight these monsters, same as me. There's not a goddamn thing left to lose at this point. Before Rinko can say anything else, KK reaches all the way out. Ooh, crystals. Right. Oh, he's in a manhole. There he goes. KK follows the trail of psychic energy deeper into the dark Shibuya alleyway, away from the glow of familiar streetlights and vending machines. His venture into the unseen brings him to a manhole cover where the spirit residue flashes with an eerie intensity. The spot is clearly the origin point for whatever spirit is at the center of this mystery. Did they take you this way, Sosuke? KK looks around again and, finding nothing, focuses his attention on this haunted manhole. The spectral vision shows KK a lot more than he thought it might, revealing a glowing specter hovering in this dark and dreary place, the spirit of a man in his 30s. A jibakure? According to Japanese lore, this type of spirit is trapped in a physical location. Okay, Spectre, what's keeping you tied down there? The specter seems unable to answer him. Instead, he mutters, as if distracted or perhaps completely delirious. Either or, maybe both. Specters aren't specifically concerned with politeness or clarity. Neither of us is going anywhere until I get some answers. I need to know. What are you doing here, specifically at this manhole cover? Why haunt this place? I thought it was a kid. Just a kid playing around, just having fun. Alone. I wanted to make sure he was safe. So, just being neighborly, eh? Yes. No. Not making friend. Protecting. But he wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't a kid, though, was it? There was something else. Something lurking in these shadows. Did I die? I think I died. But this isn't what I expected. What was it? Monster. A monster? The specter points downwards. Underneath, huh? KK stares at the manhole as though he just looks hard enough he'll suddenly see what lurks in the darkness beneath its cover. He doesn't have to see the specter nod to know he's right. It went that way. Before he can pull up the man cover to see for himself, a long shadow creeps in from the edge of the alleyway. Did you find anything? Dude, we told you to wait. Snooping around is detective business. You don't belong back here. I thought I heard you talking to someone. Who is this youngster? Only I can hear you, so don't bother. Only you can hear me? Well, sure, nobody else is even here. This is turning into a damn clown show. Kid, I need you to stay here while I go down. It's not safe for you there. Not safe. Not safe. Monster. But how do you know I'll be safe up here? My team's one call away. They'll get here quick if you're in danger. Weren't you just saying something about being in the middle of an investigation and too busy to talk to anyone? Funny you should mention that. I could actually use some help. I believe they call it client services. Who are you calling, mister? Are they nice to you or nicer? Are they nice like you or nicer? Client services sound more like babysitting to me, if only you would just wait for us to get there. We play the hand we're dealt, and juggling work and childcare has never been my strong suit. I need a little support. Rinko sighs. A long, tired sigh of frustration. A frustrated person who knows that in the end, of course, they'll help. She'll always help him, just as he will always help her. And I have the perfect candidate in mind. Well, I'm gonna say Rinko. You, Rinko. There's nobody I trust more. The way you looked after Erica, you've got away with young people I just don't. Talk some sense into this kid. Make him give me the space I need to get the job done. Put him on. Ryota holds KK's phone to his ear, happy to make another new friend. Yes, Mrs. Ghost Hunter? No, Ryota, this is Rinko. I'm the one who first read your message about your friend Sosuke. We're going to find him. You just have to trust us and listen to us. We also need your help. Will you help us? We need a new deputy for our paranormal investigation force. A deputy? Like a real deputy? Yes. Perfect. You're now our official task force lookout. It's a tough job, and not just anyone can do it, but I believe in you. I'm sending an alert to your smartphone right now. Every 5 minutes, send me a message and tell me what you see, even if it's just normal stuff. I will do my best. But you need to stay right where you are. If you go anywhere, that wouldn't be good task force lookout work. In that case, I would be forced to demote you to a lower position, and you have no idea the kind of paperwork that would create. You can count on me, Rinko. KK watches as Ryota smiles and hands the phone back to him. Then the kid puts on a tough deputy face and begins to survey the entrance to the alley. We good? He's on lookout duty. That should keep him busy for a while. But you better proceed with caution. We are on our way. You're the best. Tell me something I don't already know. Now to get down there and find your pal Sosuke. Well, that's actually a clever way of getting him distracted. Dirty water splashes under KK's feet as he makes his way through the still darkness of Shibuya's sewers. The further he goes, the darker it gets, but not because of any change in light. No, this darkness is unnatural. In fact, it's not darkness at all. It's tangible. Dense fog made of spiritual energy fills the air. Toxic, paranormal waste coats the ground and plugs the drains. Ooh, yeah, I can see it. But the air itself is rejecting him. This corruption flows between worlds and reaches around him, blocking KK's way. How long has it been building up right below our feet? Is it like this everywhere? As KK goes deeper, the Kagare only increases. There's definitely something here if there's this much corruption swirling around. Nothing I can't handle, though. Alone in the darkness, KK summons his power and... Hold X and trace the shape to clear the sewer of corruption. Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't think I did it. I just held X and just pushed a bunch of buttons and it worked. Okay. Cleanses the corruption, returning the sewer to its normal state. Glad that worked. That's better, minus the stink. With the Kagari now cleared. As if they were waiting for a moment of safety, someone appears. Sosuke, is that you? The small boy avoids KK's look, turning his back and picking at something on the wet ground. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Hey you, kid, you okay? Can you hear me? Are you hiding from something? Take a bath. Take a bath. Come on, kid, this isn't the time or the place. Answer me. I'm not trying to scare you. You've got to work with me here. In the vast darkness of the sewer, the sounds of KK's phone suddenly rings out. The tinny chime echoing back and forth around the hollow space. The small boy in the raincoat doesn't seem to notice. He must be very preoccupied. Is he Georgie from It? Is it Georgie boy in the sewers? I'm close. I found Sosuke, but I'm worried. He won't... Muffled sounds. Down so far, the signal to KK's phone is barely holding on. He can only make out a few sounds and struggles to make out what words they might be forming. Muffled sounds. Hello, is anyone there? Rinko, is that you? Ed? Erica? Who is this? Rinko, can you hear me? Are you with Ryota? Can you ask him where Sosuke was wearing a yellow raincoat? The scratchy connection makes it almost impossible to understand. Sosuke. It's about Sosuke? Not... Rinko, I can't understand. Sosuke is not what? Not Sosuke. The call cuts out, the phone going dead in KK's hand. Damn. Enough screwing around, Sosuke. Just like that, finally, as if called by his mother to come to dinner, the child responds. He stands up and turns to KK with his dead evil eyes. Ooh. You're not Sosuke, you're the monster. KK raises his hand and calls forth an energy that he discovered that day long ago. The day he found his back against the wall, reaching out and touching the ether crystal. Ever heard of ethereal weaving, monster? Energy surges into KK's hand, green light winding and glowing, charging around his fingertips. The increasingly bright light glows, illuminating the tunnel. And in that moment, standing in the center of the tunnel, we can see this monster, this raincoat visitor, just in time for it to press a child's whistle to its mouth and... Oh. At a stranger's fingertips lies KK, now a prisoner. What the fuck? I need my subject to remain calm, or else nothing will get done. Despite being captive, KK flashes the stranger a fierce glare. Son of a bitch. Hello, my new friend. I'm keen to see how useful your vessel turns out to be. The stranger takes something out and holds it in his hand. An amulet. Though clearly not simply for decoration, it surges with power. He looks from the amulet and back to KK and smiles. Oh boy. As the monstrous little raincoat visitor blows his whistle, he steps back into the shadowy darkness. Running away, huh? But he's not running away at all. In fact, he's only making space. Ooh. For two much larger, more horrifying visitors to show up and challenge KK. I've been waiting to run into you again. Let's go, you bastards. Damage a single visitor with a wind attack. Visitors perish after 2 hits. Summon a shield to protect from 1 attack. Okay. A talisman that stops visitors from moving. Ooh. Only attacks 1/1. This one stops both. There we go. Oh, this is cool. The umbrella visitors are frozen in place. Only 1 stun talisman is left. Okay. Let's take one of them down. One umbrella visitor is injured. The umbrella visitor awakened from the stun. Let's summon a shield. Because it looks like he's about to attack. Barrier appears in front of KK. An umbrella visitor attacks, but his attack is deflected by the barrier. Barrier is broken. Okay, so let's damage that one. Again. There we go. So let's guard. Yeah. Okay. It's deflected, broken. Okay. Let's attack him. Injured. Okay. Let's barrier. Deflected. And then that should kill him. Injured. You're done. Ooh. The fight now over, the sewer is oddly calm again. KK sweeps the place, looking for any clues that may be left behind. Why would a pack of monsters manifest their evil here? But then he sees it, affixed to one wall of the tunnel. A wooden tag, sometimes called a kifuda. This must be what summoned those things. KK reaches out to take the kifuda down, but as his fingertips approach it... Uh-oh. A memory? Deflection? Oh. Oh boy. Rinko? God damn it. Rinko? Erica? KK feels a big, quick thump through his body. Oh no. When he looks down, he sees someone else's arm stabbing through his chest. It's horrifying. Black smoke rushes out of his body. Looking back up, KK sees a man wearing a Hanya mask, which is the guy that's on the cover of the game. You're... Oh, he sees a premonition, maybe? As KK comes to, he realizes that he's in the tunnel once again. No, still. He looks at his chest. It's totally fine. No gaping hole, not even a scratch. Sweating, breathing heavy, his mind races. It was a horrible dream? Maybe a vision? He grips the kifuda in his hand. I won't let him get away with this. So hard that it smashes into pieces. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? At that moment, KK realizes he's not actually alone. Distracted by his fury, he had missed the approach of someone new. Who's there? Surprised, he spins to face his entity, but before he can raise his other hand... Ah! Oh no. Maybe he shouldn't have went in alone, huh? KK emerges from the tunnel to find Ryota waiting with the rest of the team. You fool! You run into a wall of Kegare and your instinct is to walk deeper into it when you know we're on our way to help? Listen, No, you listen. I'm not done yelling at your stupid ass for making me worry about you. Okay, but all of our instruments at headquarters started going wild. We broke basically every traffic law in Tokyo twice just to get here as quick as possible. And then we find an open sewer entrance, little Ryota peering down this dirty tunnel, clearly considering climbing down there despite our best efforts to cover for you and keep him busy. Sure, except... So we take a look for ourselves. It's corruption in all directions. The whole place absolutely soaking in spirit residue. It's like they're amassing an army beneath our feet and you go sniffing around alone? It's not... Maybe let her finish? Worst of all, you arrive stinking but unscathed, having been gone through just long enough to have me convinced that you were really hurt down there, that I would never see you alive again. The problem with disappearing into a dangerous sewer all alone is that the longer you're gone after Rinko has asked you to be cautious, the more time she has to consider the things she'll shout at you when you return. The things you've been through together when you were in danger, it's as if I could feel it deep down, but there's nothing I could do. What if you had died? The thought of being haunted by you, of all people. I almost climbed down there to kill you myself. I'm sorry, should have waited. Don't you dare be nice to me right now. I need to calm down. I value your friendship and support. I didn't hear that. Safely above ground, reunited with his team, KK turns his attention to the original source of all this drama. His young client, Ryota. You were never going to tell me, were you? Sosuke isn't your best friend. He's your dog. Oh! He's my dog and my best friend. Oh! KK steps back nervously as Sosuke tries to jump into his lap, tail wagging. Oh, calm down. He just wants to be pet. Jeez. Who'd have thought that such tough-as-nails former detective would have had such a strong phobia around dogs? Don't have to broadcast it, all right? Don't be scared. Sosuke loves everyone. Oh, so KK's afraid of dogs. Okay. Maybe he should draw the line at loving monsters and following them into the sewer. Ryota hugs his dog and gets a face full of licks in response. KK relaxes slightly, seeing how harmless his little dog is, but still keeps some distance. Thank you so much for bringing him home safely, Mr. KK. Mr. KK? What an adorable alias. When exactly are you going to start going by this new short nickname, KK? I suppose it has a fun ring to it. Not quite so formal as your full name. Before we get too sidetracked, as the lead investigator on this one, you've got some paperwork to do, KK. Not sure what's worse, fighting monsters or filling out all these damn forms. It's obvious that you prefer the fighting to paperwork. KK scribbles out a few lines. Only Ed can read them. Hey kid, this is for you. Oh? Is it a prize for helping you find that ghost? Almost. It's the bill. Ryota's face sinks as he's left holding the check. Lucky for you, today's work is pro bono. That means free. Consider this your receipt. I'm feeling generous right now. Ryota looks closely at the paper in his hand. It says, the case of the cursed manhole, extermination complete, KK. Leaning in over his shoulder, Rinko lets out an uncharacteristically loud burst of laughter. Oh, now I get it. You didn't choose the nickname KK. Sloppy paperwork chose it for you. There's a lot in this life that we don't get to choose. Call me what you like. Not like I've been used for a real name these days, and definitely not one of my old names. It doesn't matter what anyone calls me as long as I find that bastard. KK's gaze looks fierce, as though he's recalling to a bitter past. Reflected in his eyes is Ryota, who looks pleased to have received KK's autograph. KK's expression softens up in response. That said, I guess KK's not so bad. Well, that was interesting. Very short, like an hour. I mean, it probably would have been less if I didn't read every single thing, but we learned some things. So we learned about a paranormal, like, detective, or just a regular detective named KK, who has another name, but we don't know, who has this ability, which is featured in the game, but I think the main character is not the same as that person. So I don't know if it's like a relative or someone else who gets the ability or whatever. KK's afraid of dogs. The best friend that was found in the sewers is a dog, and there are different monsters, I guess. Visitors is what they had called them. But it's interesting. It gives some insight into what is happening before we get into the game. But the game itself, I think the premise of the game, if you've ever seen the trailer or anything, it starts out with everyone in Tokyo vanishing. And then all of these, like, monsters appear. And then you end up, like, fighting monsters and stuff. So I wonder if whatever was going on in the sewers underground ended up magnifying to something bigger, because that little raincoat boy escaped. He wasn't, like, reprimanded or like destroyed or rectified or whatever. And then that mask dude is also still at large, which is featured in the main game, so I guess he's the cause of it. I'm not sure. But very interesting little story. Very small, very short. But we shall see. So Sosuke or Sosuke, I don't know, I just said Sosuke because that's what it seems like it's pronounced, is a pupper, a cute pupper. So we saved the pupper, that's cool. Always like saving puppers. Oh look, there's a Tracy Cooper. But yeah, I liked it. It's small, it's short. It does give some backstory. I don't know how much. I don't know. Maybe we'll end up meeting KK and Rinko and Ed and Erica in the main game. Maybe we won't. Hopefully none of them die in the process. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Short little prelude. I do like that they made the Prelude a visual novel. So it was more like a story and not like you played like the game. I do appreciate that. It gives it a little bit more I don't want to say what is the term? I don't know. It makes it a little bit more diverse, so it's not giving away too much to the game, and it's not letting you actually practice getting good at the game, so that way when you get the game, you have a little bit of a tutorial kind of thing to actually get into the game, and you don't get into the game good, if that makes sense. Like, it makes it more of a surprise of things to come, while giving you hints at how the attacks might work. Like, it seems like you have different ways of attacking the monsters. Like, there's a shield that only works once, there is an attack that attacks each enemy twice, and then there is a way to stop them in place so that way they can't move for a turn. I don't know if that's all of the moves there is, or if there's going to be other ones that you'll be able to get, or if it's just those 3, or maybe you can like level them up to be stronger or something. I'm assuming there's some kind of like level upgrade system. Maybe you can get different abilities. I don't know, but it seems really interesting. Oh, I can make this go faster. Let's hold X to make this go faster. Wow, a lot of people involved into just this little prelude. I also did appreciate the way that it kind of looked like a comic or like a manga. I like the style. It looked really awesome. Kudos to the artists. There's a lot of credits with this. I wasn't expecting the credits to be like 5 minutes long. But there's a lot of credits. Wilfredo! Thank you, Wilfredo. Wow, a lot of people. Damn. Come on. Let's just... Ooh, Johnny Roses. That's a cool name. It's like, can I have your name? Yeah, my name's Johnny Roses. Like, alright, cool. I wish this could go by faster. It's like they really wanted you to look at all of the people involved. All of them. Look at them. Oh, there's a Cassandra Casey White. So we have a KK to KC. Man, a lot of people all over the world that put this game together. Just this prelude. There's probably like thousands more people involved in the main game. But yeah, that was Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, The Corrupted Casefile. So we saved the day as KK and we rescued the pupper. Sosuke is safe. I hope we get to see the pupper in the main game. But if you guys are interested in watching me play this, I will be streaming every Friday starting on March 25th. I will be streaming on Twitch starting, well, the actual like gameplay stream will be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern time every Friday. And it'll be followed by just a chat with me that I usually do for an hour. And it will be up on YouTube probably the weekend after, maybe a couple of days, because I'll have to edit the footage. But we will be delving into this game, so I hope to see you there if I can. If not, you will see it on YouTube. And, yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure your puppers don't fall down sewers. And I'll see you next time in Ghostwire Tokyo. Bye-bye!